Hello everyone, it's Leo and I'm here today with Kira Soleil to talk about a new show called Granbelm. I'm going to talk about my impressions on the first episode of this show, and I just watched the first episode. I was looking at the new shows that are starting in Crunchyroll from the summer anime season from 2019, obviously, and this one got me really hooked because of the explanation that Crunchyroll gave. It basically said magical girls, robots, and magic come together in this adventure with lots of fightings and such. I don't really remember, don't really recall, but I just like the first thing that they talked about Granbelm was magical girls. So you guys know, I was obviously quickly hooked. Every anime season that comes up, I look at the shows, I look at every show to see if there is a magical girl show that's going to start, and I obviously at least try to follow them a little bit, even though sometimes there are shows like Mahou Shoujo Tokushusen Asuka, which I started to watch, but I couldn't get through it. It was a disaster. And I like talking about, like, I watch lots of shows. Every anime season I try to pick like 3 or 4 shows. Sometimes there's even more when there are lots of interesting ones. But I like to keep the channel, at least this channel, more geared towards magical girls. So that's why I chose to talk about Granbelm, even though I don't know if it actually fits the magical girl mode, if it can actually be called a magical girl anime. But we can discuss that a little later on. So you guys can expect like a video, an impressions video every Friday, because this show airs on Friday, and it's going to be a challenge for me because I have constructed a habit of doing impressions videos every Sunday on Precure. But like when there are other shows that I want to talk about, I always have to to maneuver myself, because I'm a very unorganized person. You guys have no idea how messy my life is because of that. But it's always interesting to challenge myself and do something like that. So I think I'm going to try to do like the whole Granbelm season. I think Granbelm is going to be a show, like a 1 season show from 12, 13 episodes. I don't think it's going to be bigger than that. And from what I've seen, it seems to be a very interesting one. So let's talk about the first episode. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say that if you guys want me to talk about other shows that are airing, you can leave a comment and we can, I can take a look at them, maybe do a live stream, and we can talk about some different shows. I've watched Dr. Stone. I want to watch the Fire Force one as well. So if you guys have any recommendation of shows that are starting this season, we can talk about them. So let's start talking about Granbelm first episode. So the first thing is that this show was, I think this first episode was very convoluted because there were so many things happening, and at the end of the day, I really liked the first episode, and it seems that it has a nice dynamic, and I liked the characters, I liked the designs, and I feel like the designs are cute, but at the same time they try to create a little bit of like the characters are not completely moe. They remind me a little bit of Wicross, the cards show. I loved that show. It was very good. And the designs, they remind me a little bit of Recross. But we start the show with a character, and it's interesting because she doesn't tell us her name. And we don't know her name until the middle of the episode. And well, this is a very personal thing because I don't know Japanese, but I felt like she was a type of character that she screams cute. Everything about her is very cute. She has pink hair. She is very happy person. She's bubbly. She has a very bubbly personality. But when she said her name, I thought this is very strange because her name, she has a very villainy name. It seems to me that it's a name that I would understand a villain having, not the type of character that she seems to be. So that was kind of a break of expectation to me, but I do understand where her name comes from because the show kind of explains it. But anyway, this main character, pink haired, cute, bubbly character, she finds herself into a very different and bizarre situation. She was at school, she had to go back to school because of something that happened at her house, and then she had to go back to school, and when she gets there, she gets her bento, and then she finds herself into a completely different situation. And when she understands, she sees lots of robots fighting outside of the school, and those robots are controlled by girls. And those girls, they notice that there's someone inside the school, and then they go they try to find her. But the fight is basically a 3 versus 1, and those 3 girls are fighting one robot, but then there's like one-on-one. The fight starts to be one-on-one, and the other 2 girls, they start circling the school or this new building to find the girl who's inside, and they call her a majo. They are majos, and they call her a majo. So for us Precure fans, it's easy to understand what a majo is. It's a word that can mean witch, sorceress, and someone with magical powers. And we've seen that with Maho girls, Maho Tsukai Purikyo, or Maho girls Purikyo as well. So they call themselves majo. Those 2 robots, they try to find her, they try to discover who's there inside of the school, and this girl doesn't understand anything. And it's kind of interesting because we kind of see everything through her perspective. We don't understand what's going on as well, and why are those robots after her, and why does she matter to them? Why is that important for those robots to find her? We don't know, but all we know is that we see the other 2 robots fighting against each other. So I think the narrative, right at the start, the narrative puts a heavy burden onto this character that's fighting by herself, and we quickly get onto her side. Like, the other ones were kind of picking on her, and at least I did, and I think that's what the narrative tries to do. And that one character felt very she felt very mysterious because she had a cool pose, she seems cold, and while the other one was screaming and she was very angry. There's this big, heavy unbalance of personalities. Like, one is very cool and collected, and one is very, outwards with her feelings. And obviously, this outwards girl ends up losing this fight. It always happens like this in anime, it seems. So keep your emotions in check, because you will win every time. Is this the message they're trying to send? Like, anime in general? But, I feel like it's a very cultural thing, right? I feel like if it were here in Brazil, the narrative would be different, because we are people that tend to be very emotional towards things, like very un-Japanese like. So when everything was calm and the other robots were still trying to get this other girl, she ended up protecting this pink-haired one. And she, in a sense, she was kind of naive by protecting her, but I think she understood that this girl was completely lost and was not really understanding what's going on. And what happened was that this girl, one of the girls, ended up teaching all of the things that were happening to this pink-haired girl, which is the main character. And so we get to know what's really going on together with her. And that's an interesting fact, because I feel like we are seeing everything that's been going on through her lenses. That's cool, I think, because it's nice to see, because some shows, they tend to explain the basic plot and the setting of the world with a narrator, and then maybe the main character doesn't know, but we know. And I like when the main character doesn't know and we don't know as well, and then we get to discover things together with the main character or with another character, I don't know. But I liked the way this show did the whole world building thing. So we have this imaginary, illusionary world in which they're fighting, and there is a big building. I don't know if we can call that a building, but there's a big thing, and that is called Magiaconauts. And this big place is where all of the magic in the world is stored, because there was a big like magic was very important. There is a political thing about magic being used as a weapon, and people started having wars. People started fighting because of magic, and then the most powerful sorcerers in the world restored all of the magic in this Magiaconauts thing. And so there is a fight. I don't know if it's annually or it happens with, I think it has something to do with the moon. When there's a full moon, all the 7 sorcerers have to fight to see who's going to become the princess. I don't remember the name, but there's a specific name for this. So it's kind of like a battle royale to see who's the strongest sorcerers, and it seems only girls participate in this. And so that's why those girls are fighting, and that's why those robots, those girls that were in the robots, were after the pink-haired girl, because she was running away and they thought that she was a sorceress, so she had to be defeated. And like, we know, like, there are 7, and we don't really know those 7. We just know the main one, which is the pink-haired one. She's not a sorceress yet. And then the other one that helps her. And they have this little back and forth with them, and they share their names. And it's interesting. It's Suigetsu and Mangetsu. Mangetsu is the main character's name. I was like, what? Mangetsu for a main character, a cute main character? It seems like it's a villain's name. But anyway, it works because Getsu means moon, so both of them are very closely related to the moon, and the moon played a big part in this episode, like the big red moon that was there. It was very interesting. She had to fight one of the other robots, and when she was fighting, these other girls sent other robots after our pink-haired character, and then she ended up getting into the Magiaconauts thing, not really inside there, but you know, she got very close, and then the Magiaconauts chose her. She is a sorceress now. She is a Majo now. And she becomes a Majo, and that's where I think the magical girl thing appeared, because she became a magical girl. She transformed, her clothes changed, and you know, her design kind of reminded me of that show that I forgot the name now, Subaru. The Subaru show with the girls like kind of witches, and they have like white costumes and they fly on brooms. I forgot the name of that show. But anyway, and then she fights with her robot for the first time. And, you know, there's a whole explanation on how to use your robot, because it's a very hard thing. The robot is a materialization of your soul, of your heart, of your essence. That's also very interesting. And I really enjoyed, you know, I am not the biggest mecha fan. Mecha, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. I'm not the biggest fan of mecha. But I liked the way it was played out. You know, the designs of the mechas are beautiful, of the mechas. How do I pronounce it? Please, someone who knows it and is still watching, please help me. I don't know. But, you know, overall, a very good first episode. It was a very interesting first episode. It was a very interesting way of presenting us the story. And then the episode ended with the main character defeating this girl. She seems to be very powerful. It seems that she has a very powerful soul, and she was able to control it after some little hardships here and there. But, you know, she was powerful enough. And then, next episode, we're going to see the girls in our world. I thought that this show was going to be played in this illusionary world, but no, they're coming to the real world. So it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be very interesting to understand why Mangetsu was chosen as a Majo, or if she was a Majo before, and if it's something about her soul. We don't know much about it. You know, we know a lot about the world and about the story, but we don't know much because there are lots of witches that we need to see yet, sorceress, I don't know, that we need to see, and the ending showed all 7 of them, just like the opening, but the ending showed them clearly. And I'm very curious to learn more about them, because some of them seem to be very interesting, and one of them was defeated already. I want to know, like, what happens. Is she still part of the fights? Is she still going to be like part of the whole character thing? Is she going to be part of the show? She's still going to keep appearing? I don't know. But I want to hear from you. Did you like Granbelm? Did you watch it? It's available on Crunchyroll, at least here in Brazil. I don't know about other countries, but it's available here. It's good. The mecha thing was also good to me. I'm not the biggest fan of robots, but I still liked it. I still thought it was interesting. So maybe even if you don't like it, maybe you will like it too. I haven't watched many shows that have like this mecha thing going on. I watched Code Geass. I think that was it. And Magic Knight Rayard, if you consider it, because there are big robots in there too, but they're like very minor in the whole show. But anyway, Granbelm first episode, interesting. I liked it. I think this is going to be a very good show. I hope I can keep on doing impressions on it. If you liked this video, please tell me so I can keep on doing it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.